Hello everybody, it's Crafty Carol here from Northern Ireland here with another little project for you. And you'll have seen last week I made a card with the bottled happiness, and I had another idea for a card. I've been using Go to Greetings with it, but actually I thought, do you know what? It makes a nice champagne bottle, and I haven't yet had a look at the Here's to Love stamp set. And I thought, do you know what? I've got a lovely idea for a monochrome card, which would do well as either a wedding or engagement or whatever. So let's get on and make it. I'll show you what we need first. So we need an ordinary card base. I've just used basic white, and this is the usual 21 by 14.8, scored in half at 10.5 centimetres and folded. So that's our card base. Then I'm going to have a layer inside and out. So I've got a silver foil layer for inside and for outside, and these layers, so you need two of these. These are 10 by 14.3. Two of those, and then we need two of the more pieces of basic white, and these are both 9.5 by 13.8 centimetres. I also wanted a strip for the top, so I've cut a foil strip, which is just about, I haven't measured it yet, but I will trim it so that it goes across the white card. So we did it approximately 10 centimetres wide, and a smaller white strip for my sentiment. I want to put congratulations on the top. And I've decided to go with smoky slate. You could use grey granite, but I think I want to try smoky slate and see how it is. And I was actually waiting for the new sequins to come, but sadly they haven't come yet. So I'm using some old retired subtle shimmer sequins, but they are just plain sort of silvery, matte silver type sequins, which we're going to use for today. So if we get on, I shall start off by stamping the inside of the card. And I've decided that for the inside, I want to use the Here's to Love, which again would go with wedding, engagement or anniversary or whatever. And I'm going to use this sort of I think it's a sparkler. Thank you, Gus, we don't need you. A sparkler, just to add a little bit of interest to that. So let us try that. So I've got my Here's to Love. So, oops, a little bit too much there, but hey, it'll do. Here's to Love, I'm just going to put in the middle there. I'm just going to get my cloth so I can clean my stamp, because I made a right mess inking that up. Because obviously the ink pad is inkier than I thought. Right, so I'm just going to use this sort of sparkler thing. I don't know what it is, sparkler, just to sort of add a little bit of interest, just randomly around. There's one down here, not too many of them. Yeah, I think I might have one at the top here as well, just like that there. So that's my inside, and I'm actually going to because I haven't got my envelope yet, but I'm going to use that same decoration on the envelope because I rather like it. So we'll have that just stamped here in a little cluster, and that's my envelope decoration as well. I always like to decorate the envelopes, as you know. But I don't like too much on an envelope. A lot of people decorate the flap. I don't know, a lot of people tear open an envelope there, so I'm not sure about a flap decoration. Up to you. That's going to be my envelope. So this is my inner bit. So I'm going to put that together and just go through the, quicken up the video so that you don't have to bother watching me, but I'll do that and then I'll be back. Okay, so I've put that bit of the card together. So I've got the inside of the card done here, and I've just stuck the silver foil on the outside, so that's ready. Now I'm going to do my sentiment next, actually. So I'm going to stamp my mainly because I need this block. So I'm going to stamp my congratulations, approximately there, I think. There we go. A little bit near the bottom. I think I'll try that again. That's why we have an emergency side of any piece of card. There, that's better. So, and I need that because I want to use my bottle, which, yes, I know it doesn't look too much like a champagne bottle, but I think we can make it look a bit like one. Now, the key with this, when you look at the punch here, is to put this in so it's in the middle. you can't get the punch too far up, so you don't want to stamp your bottle too far up your card. So I'm going to mark with a pencil where my bottle should be, and then when I stamp it, without dropping it on the card this time, which is what I did. I had to cut that bit out of the video. Very embarrassing. So I'm going to stamp the bottle where I know I can punch it. There we go. And now I can punch it out quite happily. But before that, I'm just going to rub out my pencil marks. Obviously, wait for your ink to dry properly. It should dry fairly quickly on basic white, it does. So I've rubbed out my pencil marks, another one there. There. Now I can punch it out. So I'm going to punch it out. We want to keep this punch. We're not getting rid of it. So this is why you stamp it and then punch it. And I'll show you why in a minute. So we punch it out. And that's going to be my base for my shaker card, which will stick on here. The next stage is to get the vintage bottle shaker domes. They come in a pack like this. I think there's 10 in a pack, I think. Which I will be using all of mine because I'm using them in a class later on this week. But let me get one out. I've got at least one spare to show you this card. So now these are filled with sequins. And they are so good because they have a sticky covering, which you undo either side. So this is where I punched it from. So I need my shaker dome to come in from the back. So the first thing I'm going to do is stick my shaker dome into my shape. You can see where I had my disaster, dropping my stamp. Honestly, what am I like? Dropping my stamp on my card. Ah, it's a good job we've got emergency side cards. So I'm going to get my pokey tool and just ease off the covering. There we go, the adhesive covering of the bottle. And then I can push it through, and without getting it stuck before I want it to. There. So I can push it through and stick it down, and it's stuck to my card. So now this is where this one will come in. So you want your one ready, and you want your sequins ready. Because I am going to fill my bottle with some of these sequins. Ooh. And spread them all over the desk as well, of course. Because don't I always do that? So there we go. I like to put a fair number in. Oh, they're going everywhere, these. Never mind, we'll manage them in a minute. See, that one's just got stuck to where there's a little bit of glue there. And I think it's very warm here tonight, and I think actually quite a lot of them are sticking to me too. I'm obviously very, very sticky tonight. Right, that'll do. Got several in. Go away. So now, if I take off, oh, do you know what? I might put those in. Just because I want a fair number in. I like shakers to have a fair number of things in. Yeah. So now, having filled that up, I can then gently take off the other side of the sticky, and amazingly you'll find that if you're really careful, that way round, because that was my mistake side, well, this is my mistake side, so I want that at the back, you can place it over the aperture, and it's just, there's enough sticky to stick it in place, so that becomes my shaker. And that's about right. I wanted it about half full. Not quite got it half full, but that's not too bad. Good. So, I seem to have got sequins everywhere. Let me just deal with those. I'm going to need some more in a minute, so I'm going to leave them out. So my next stage is I'm going to stick this down to the front of my card. So there is my shaker bottle, and I'll show you my idea. First of all, I'm going to put this on so I know roughly where I'm going to go. So that actually is the right size. That is 10. Yeah, 10. So I'm going to stick that on and stick it on flat. 10 centimetres by approximately 1.5 centimetres, I think, a couple of centimetres, something like that. It doesn't have to be exact. So that's going to go across the top there, and hopefully I'll get it level. There we go. And then my congratulations, and I will just squash, because I had to use the back of this again, because I'm being obviously very bad at stamping today. There we go. So I've got congratulations. I think I might just cut that off here. I'm just going to point the ends, I think. Or shall I? Shall I just leave it like that? Actually, do you know, I might just leave it rectangular. We'll just stick it on like that, I think. Try and make sure it's in the middle. There we go. There. Now, the bit that I wanted to talk to you about in particular is about sticking on these sequins, because to be honest, I tried to stick them on a previous card using glue and it took forever, and I got glue everywhere and it was so difficult to get them to stick properly. And then I realized that you can get that we have glue dots, so I'm going to use glue dots for this. I actually, for one of my previous cards, because these are quite big, I actually used the glue dots that come in the kits, you know, the little sort of sheets of glue dots you can get, and that was brilliant because they were just perfect for the sequins. So these sequins aren't very big, so I might have to squish the glue dots up a little bit, but I'm going to do one or two just to show you. And then, so I want it as if it's sort of spraying out of my jar here. So I'm going to use my take your pick tool, which is invaluable for these little things. So I can pick up the sequin in the putty and then press it on my glue dot. There we go. So yes, my glue dots are a little big here, so I'm going to have to fiddle with them. But you get the idea. So little glue dots. I wonder if I've still got a sheet of the others I might use actually. Because yes, these glue dots are a little bit big. Let me go and find a sheet of the others to show you. Yeah, these are the things I'm talking about. You get little sheets of them in our kits, and I very rarely use all of them, so there's always several to be left. So these are super because they're just the right size, little tiny things. So let's have another one, say up here, and another one over here. You hear my clock chiming today. And then we can just take the tops off. Obviously Gus doesn't like the clocks chiming either. There we go. And then I can get some of my little sequins. There we go, that's better. Oh, it's a little tiny one, don't want that one. There we go. So I can use the glue dots to put these all over here, and then I shall come back when I've done them all, because it's boring watching me do this sort of thing, so you can see the finished card. So I'm back, having put some of these on. I might put one or two more on yet, but you get the idea. I think I probably need a few more over this side, but I want a big concentration here. I've used the different types. There's sort of white shimmery, there are silver shimmeries, and just different sizes as well. So I've got smaller ones the further away from the bottle I am, larger ones here. So I hope that gives you an idea. I'm going to put some more on, I think, before I finish it, which you'll see in the final picture. But there we have it, a little shaker congratulations card for a wedding, for engagement or something like that, or any other celebration really. Thank you for joining me. Please do go to the website, sign up for my emails so you know what I'm doing when, and I will see you all again very soon. Bye for now.